Hi, my name is Leonie, a student from LSPR Communication and Business Institute, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the two sides of the use of renewable energy. It has been discussed countless times by experts that fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas are finite. Consume them for long enough and the resource will eventually run out. It is expected that we will run out of oil in around 50 years and gas in around 60 years. Not only that, all fossil fuels emit carbon dioxide and other harmful air pollutants when burned, which led to public health and environmental problems at local, national, and global level. Not to mention the water used and the waste. Coal is known for being dirty fuel because contains a large amount of toxic heavy metals and other chemicals. Oil and gas could also carry heavy metals and hydrocarbons and radioactive materials that are unsuitable for human consumptions, difficult to dispose safely, and harmful for aquatic wildlife. From that, we can see the future of energy will shift into the use of renewable ones such as solar, wind, hydroelectric power, tidal and wave energy, and geothermal. Not only is it better for the environment, but it is also beneficial for our health. With fewer gas being released, we are at lower risk of developing pollution-based respiratory problems. Renewable energy resources produce less amount of water waste every year, and it is far less threatening to areas of the world that are prone to flooding and droughts. And the most obvious one, renewable resources are so abundant or are replaced so rapidly that we will never run out. Now the question is, why don't we use it more? Well, every choice has pros and cons. The use of renewable energy resources comes with a vast number of requirements. First, it can be costly. When adding up the cost of installing a solar panel, for example, one must take into account the cost of purchasing each piece of equipment, transporting it to the site, and maintaining it once it has been installed. Second, it is not easy to store renewable energy. Fossil fuel can cater to the demand for a consistent energy supply and can also be stored to generate electricity for later, whereas renewable energy resources require large batteries to save any additional electricity they produce. There are also some geographical limitations. For example, wind energy can only be harnessed in areas that get a lot of wind, and even in areas such as on top of hills or offshore, consistently high-speed winds can't be guaranteed. We also need to pay attention to some of the negative impacts from the use of renewable energy. Solar facilities require mass amount of land depending on the size of energy we want to create. Therefore comes the need for a large amount of land that impacts wildlife habitats. The high temperature solar beams at concentrated solar plants are harmful for animals such as desert tortoise, birds, and bats. Collision with wind turbines and the changes in air pressure caused by the spinning turbines are the biggest threats to animals that fly around the facilities. The noises and electromagnetic fields from wave and tidal energy facilities can also affect marine life, such as dolphins, as they use sonar to navigate underwater. When it comes to hydroelectric dams, they provide a much more amount of power than most other renewable energy. However, converting rivers into reservoirs causes wildlife and marine life of those rivers to now be subjected to major changes. They need to readapt. So, what do we do now? We have come this far, but this is not the time to be satisfied since we can see that we still have a lot to work on. We have to evaluate all of the circumstances and requirements of each type of renewable energy facilities. We have to analyze every possible scenario in order to minimize the impact on the environment. International cooperation is essential to facilitate access to renewable energy research and technology. We need to promote investment in energy infrastructure. If we fund innovation, then we can be very optimistic about where things go from now. Thank you.